we started our conversation with the topic of the future of work.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to rewind a decade ago and tell people that, hey, there's someone called a LinkedIn specialist, your grandma wouldn't have been impressed. But, your grandma would be very proud wearing that badge and say, hey, my granddaughter is number 2.
Yeah.
What do you think the future of work entails?
Oh, that's a big question. I've got 3 kids, and I'm constantly talking to them about.
How are they?
They're all having birthdays soon. So I've got currently 17, and
No
19.
way.
My oldest is turning 20 next year. Makes me
No
feel old.
way!
Yeah.
Wow!
So and they're all studying, doing things a little bit different, also in the creative space. But I was telling them that the job that they think they're going to have probably, well, it might not even exist. And the job that they do have,
a walking case in point. Yes.
Well, the job that you end up having probably hasn't even been thought of yet. So, I mean, if I was at school and said I'm going to be a LinkedIn specialist, firstly, LinkedIn didn't exist when I was in school.
Yep.
And even social media didn't exist. So going back to before, that whole looking for that thread of things. So one thing I did that I realised was important in my own journey, but at the time I didn't know it because it didn't earn me a lot of money, is I used to run a club for pen friends. I don't know if you ever had in high school, a pen friend, you had to write letters.
And Barbie Dolls Club as well.
Yes, you have really stalked me.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah,
so that's connecting.
It's about helping people connect through a purpose.
Right.
Now, creating a fake Barbie club, now there was probably some copyright breaches there, although it was all things that I'd drawn and made with sticky tape and paper, like really bad, so it didn't really resemble the product, but that was just my idea. But the pen friend club, that came from me having a lot of pen friends, and I saw an opportunity to help people connect.
Pen friends,
as in handwrite letters. I still do have some, but we're Facebook friends now.
We have to explain to my daughter's generation what is a pen friend.
Yes, it's crazy. But I did that for 8 years, and I didn't make any money. I didn't do it with a vision of making money. I did it with a vision of helping people connect. So when I look back, those things were the start of where I wanted to be.
So
events
the dots connect.
Yeah, events bring people together, and for a purpose. Now that's educational purpose and networking. Social media is all about helping people connect through through. It might be building your business, whatever it is. It might be just connecting for fun. But I do run an event as well now. So while I don't do events for clients, I've got my own event, which is it's called LinkedIn Local. It's a global movement. And that's all about bringing people together in person to connect, who are connected on LinkedIn. And that's something that I run with a couple of other people. So that's where my events background comes in handy, because that helps me, makes it easy to run.
So what I'm hearing is, the future of work is yet to be invented. If you look deeply, there are essence of things that are preparing you. So be honest in looking inward. Yeah,
and look for those things that aren't necessarily business. Like I said, Pen Friend Club, at the time it was just a hobby.
Right.
It wasn't commercial. It was just something I did. And I think if people look back to their own life, what did they really love doing, and why did they love it? And if that why is going to be the thread that goes between. So what you're doing now, what you do in the future, if you love it, it's probably going to be the same reason behind the thing.
So I think that you'll be a very cool mother, that you wouldn't prescribe for your kids to study accounting, unlike my dad.
He's not watching.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I guess so, because my kids, I mean, here in Australia, you go until you're 12, and then you go to uni. That's the traditional pathway.
Yes.
Not that I didn't discourage that, but I let my kids know that there are other options, because not everybody wants to do that pathway. There are multiple options. So both of my children who are teenagers left in Year 10 and studied at TAFE College, it's called.
Right.
So it's more of a practical skill. So my son has been studying graphic design, animation, game design. So now he's going to university next year. So he's just taken a different pathway. My daughter
game design is a different ballgame as well. Your
Yeah.
grandma wouldn't have approved of that.
Yes.
Wow.
And I think that's where things are going into that whole 3D world. I mean, you've got AI, no AI. Well, AI is part of it, but virtual reality, augmented reality, all that. I mean, if I could study now, that's the stuff I want to be learning about because I find that fascinating.